All right, Shalom. This is Howard 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, Leah Hawa, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm trying not to use my, I'm not able to use my microphone today. But I want to do a continuation in the book of Revelations. I think today I'm going to try to go into Revelations chapter 12. All right. Now, Revelation chapter 12, just like other chapters in the book of Revelations, they jump around. All right, you might be reading it at one point, and it'll give you the whole layout from beginning to end of what's about to happen. But then the next thing you know, it'll switch, and it'll kind of give you a backstory on what's happening and so on and so on. All right. So that's how you got to read the book of Revelations. It kind of jumps around. And you got to use precept upon precept. So now, Revelations 12 is speaking about the woman being Israel and how she was clothed with wisdom. All right. The Old and New Testament. The Old Covenant and the New Covenant. The marriage. And then you have also the dragon. All right, the red dragon spoken of being Esau, okay? Esau in the EU, NATO, America, all together, really. But ultimately, the EU, those elite bankers. All right? So let's try to get into it. This is Revelations chapter 12, verse 1. And it says, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars." All right. So let's see who that woman is. I'm gonna use my phone so it'll be quicker. Let's go to Jeremiah 6:2. This is Jeremiah 6:2. It says, "I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman." All right, so the daughter of Zion is likened unto a comely and delicate woman. And our comeliness we get from righteousness, all right, from the scriptures. The spirit of truth, that's our beauty. All right, those are our garments. So I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. And it says here, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven," Revelation 12:1. "A woman to a servant clothed with the sun." All right. And we're the ones that's clothed with the sun. And that sun is what? Wisdom. Or really the spirit of Yahushua. One second. This is Isaiah 52:1. "Awake, awake, put on thy strength." So our strength. Okay, what's our strength? Yahushua. Our strength is His truth, the wisdom. "Put on thy strength, O Zion." See, the daughter of Zion. Zion is the government of Israel, basically the church, the elect. "Put on thy beautiful garments," man. That beautiful represents our comeliness. All right. Without that, we're destroyed in an abomination. So this is our beauty. All right? Being an Israelite, being in this truth. "O Yerushalayim, the holy city," and the holy city is who? The bride. From henceforth, there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and unclean. See, other than that, we're unclean. But our cleanliness represents our beauty, our being beautified. So we're the holy city. Uh, get that real quick. This is Revelations 21:2. And I, John, saw the holy city. So the holy city, it means separated from amongst the whole world, created into a city of citizens called what? New Jerusalem, meaning refreshed Israel, being a refreshed and remade new, given a new covenant as well. Coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. All right, so Israel is going to be what? The elect of Israel are covered, adorned with the spirit of truth, with wisdom, all right, with the light. Okay, here you go. Get this real quick. Yep, this is Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me. So 2/3 of our people, they take counsel, but not at the Lord's mouth, not at the Lord's spirit. All right, they follow at the lies and uncleanliness. So woe to the rebellious children, Israelites, 2/3, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, right? Because through Yahweh Shah, we're covered with that light, that wisdom. All right. So through Yahweh Shah, we're clothed with wisdom. Now, let me get this. So that's that woman being covered in the spirit of Yahweh Shah. So without that covering, we consider what? Unclean. Deuteronomy 29:29. It's Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret things belong unto Yahweh, our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. All right, he said the laws will be our wisdom in the sight of the nations. But here in Revelations 12, it speaks about the laws being under her feet, the moon. So this represents the church of the 12 tribes of Israel that have overcome and have been exalted above or covered from the curse of the law. All right, so they've been crowned. So, there's light, there's wisdom, the laws and the light, which would be the wisdom, belonging to Israel forever. So we were clothed with the sun, and the moon was put under our feet. Meaning, so you're being justified through Yahweh Shah, not through the laws. All right. So let's get this real quick. The Sirach 1:5. The Sirach 1:5. The word of the Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. To whom have the root of wisdom been revealed? Or who have known her wise counsels? So that root and that wise counsel has been revealed to the elect of Israel. And to whom have the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest? And who have understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon his throne. He created her and saw her and numbered her and poured her out upon all his works. She is with all flesh according to his gift and he hath given her to them that love him. The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. All right. So fearing the Lord is what? The beginning of wisdom. Keeping the laws to the best of your ability, believing in Yahweh Shai, and doing his work. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, see? And it was created with the faithful in the womb. So you have to be predestined for this truth. All right? It's a part of you. She have built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with their seed, as I just read. It's going to continue with the Israelites forever and forever. All right? Wisdom was always going to be given to us in some form or fashion, either through the laws or through the understanding given from Yahweh Shai, which is set up for the elect, the church. To fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits. She filleth all their houses with things desirable, and the garners with her increase. To fear the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are gifts of the Most High, and it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him. Wisdom raineth down skill and knowledge of understanding. All right? And exalteth them to honor that hold her fast. Okay, so that's right, man. So that's our splendor. That's our garment, our covering. All right. Let me get this real quick. This is Revelations. Revelations 19:8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen. That woman, she, all right, Israel, gonna be arrayed, meaning clothed in fine linen. What's that? Clean and white. See, that's our beauty. Okay, our comeliness. Clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. All right, so that's what it means, but where it says clothed with the sun. All right. So like in 1 second. Matthew 13 and 43. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. So the elect are going to shine that light forth as the sun, meaning bright. And that light is Yahweh Shai. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 6. So clothed with the sun, meaning the Spirit of the Lord. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, talking about 2/3, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us. All right, the light of righteousness, as I just said. All right, that's clothed with the sun. The light of righteousness, and the hopeful elect are clothed with it like a garment. The light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. Just like the sun rises upon the earth, 2/3 is still in darkness, and the hopeful elect, the Lord has risen upon us, and the Spirit of the Lord resteth upon us. All right. Let's get back to Revelations 12 and 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a sign. All right, that's what wonder is. I mean, it's a sign, man. A sign of the kingdom. The hopeful elect are that sign, part of that sign from Yahushua. A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. All right. Let me get a couple more scriptures real quick. Baruch. That's right, because there's a parable where it speaks about, let me get this first, though. That's right, matter of fact, let me go ahead and get it, the allegory. Because we're not under the law anymore. We've been called to a higher calling, like Paul said, to the high calling of Yahushua. All right. That's what it means by the moon was under her feet. So let's go from here. I don't want to read all of this, but Genesis 21 and 4. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as Yahweh had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, Yahweh have made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned. Okay, let me get to the point. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, and in all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. All right, enjoy in the spirit of Yahushua. Isaac was Yahushua. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. All right, and that's twofold. Yeah, it's talking about Ishmael and these other nations, or Ishmael. But this is a parable. This is an allegory, okay? Where you use one story to reflect the meaning of another story, like a poem. But what it's talking about is us being under the old covenant and now being part of the free, which is part of the new covenant, all right? And that's what that is in Revelation 12, where it say the sun was given to us as a covering and the moon was under our feet now, meaning the laws. All right, we're being exalted, not above the laws, but to a higher calling. All right. So by believing in Yahushua, we're going to be made perfect. Verse 13. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it. Okay, let me get to the point, man. So I'm going to read this whole thing. Let me see. All right, here go the point. Galatians 4 and 21. Tell me, ye that desire to be under the law, do ye not hear the law? So there's a cut on people like Sakari and them. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondwoman and the other by a free woman. All right, just like today, you had the sons that were given to the father, which would be Yahweh in a sense, not Abraham. But you had sons that were under the covenant given to Moses, which were Israelites. And now you have the covenant given by Yahushua. All right, the bond made, which was our forefathers, and now the free woman, which is through Yahushua and our forefathers, which is from the disciples. But he who was of the bond woman was born after the flesh. People like Zechariah now. But he of the free woman was by promise. Big difference. So it's about the promise. All right. So that's what that represents. The sun being clothed with the sun and the moon under their feet. Okay. Which things are an allegory, which is a mystery or a parabolic poem, using one story in reflection of another. For these are the two covenants, the one from Mount Sinai, which gendereth unto bondage, which is Hagar, parabolically speaking. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia. All right, so those parabolic speaking about Mount Sinai, where we got the laws at. All right, and we're in bondage under sin because of our sinful flesh. And answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. So the land of Jerusalem, it went into bondage, and we went into bondage. For it is written, rejoice thou barren, that bearest not. Break forth and cry, thou that travailest not. For the desolate have many more children than she which hath an husband. Wow. That means it's going to be more destroyed than the ones that are under Yahushua, that has the husband. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are children of the promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it now is. That's still like that. The ones that are born after the flesh, the 2/3. But the ones that claim they're keeping the law perfect, they persecute the ones that are born of the free woman, of Yahushua. All right, born of the spirit. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. Wow, man. So those that claim to be under the law, keeping the law perfectly, they're not gonna be delivered with the ones that are under Yahushua. You know, that's like, choosing, saying, hey, I got my own righteousness. But the Lord said our righteousness is as filthy rags. The law is meant for us to keep it. Can't blame the law, but you got to blame us. So in blaming us, we have to say, hey, we are imperfect and it's impossible at this point for us to do it. The law is too perfect. We need help. And that help is Yahushua that makes us free. The truth shall make you free. All right? And free meaning what? Being able to shine your light freely, nothing stopping you like the sun. All right, set in place, set in order. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. All right, we're not of the night, of the moon, we are of the sun, which meaning the day. All right, let's get back to Revelation 12:1. It says, and there appeared a great wonder, or a sign in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet. All right, let's get this real quick. get Baruch 3 and 31. 30. It says, who have gone over the sea and found her, and will bring her for pure gold. All right. But he that knoweth all things, wow. Okay, I need a description for something else. So like, save this for later. All right. So all right. So verse 29, verse 30. Who have gone over the sea and found her, talking about wisdom, and will bring her for pure gold. No man knoweth her, nor thinketh of her path. Right? Nobody in the world can know her. See, the Lord had put the world in their heart so that no man, living being, may know his way, may figure out the Father's will. But he that knoweth all things knoweth her, and hath found her out with his understanding. He that prepared the earth for evermore hath filled it with four-footed beasts. He that sendeth forth light, and it goeth, calleth it again, and it obeyeth him with fear. The stars shine in their watches, and rejoice when he calleth. They say, here we be, and so with cheerfulness they show light unto him that made them. All right, and that's twofold. When the Lord called for the light to shine in the heavens, in the sun, now upon earth he's doing that with us, calling for his stars to shine their light. And we saying what? Here we be. All right. So, all right, so that wisdom was given to Israel. Nobody else can understand wisdom. This is our power, and there shall none other be accounted of him in comparison. Yahweh Shai, all right? So like he have found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it, what? Have given the way of knowledge unto Jacob, his servant, his woman, and to Israel, his beloved. So that's who it belongs to. Wisdom, the sun and the moon belongs to us. In spiritual sense, would be knowledge and wisdom and understanding. All right, but 2/3 cannot get it. That's why in Amos it said the Lord's going to seal up the breaches. That means seal it up so they can't get it. Afterward did he show himself upon earth and converse with men. So Yahweh Shai. All right, a lot of people think it's talking about Yahweh, but that's speaking about Yahweh Shai, his son. All right, so Psalms. That's right, man. Psalms 147 and 19, because the law, statutes, and commandments was only given to Israel as well. Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. All right. So all right. So he has not dealt so with any nation. He's shown the light, basically, because the laws were our wisdom in the sight of the nations. But Yahweh Shai is the true light, that light of all men that cometh into the world. And that light is what? The spirit of truth. All right, so that's only given to who? Jacob, Israel, no other nation. And of Jacob, it's only given to the elect. All right, Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Keep therefore and do them, talking about the laws, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear of these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. See that? So, um, that's right. So right here where it says, Revelations 12:1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. That's talking about what? The law, statutes, and commandments, and basically wisdom in general, dealing with the sun. All right, and to the disciples. All right, the 12 tribes of Israel, and we were crowned with wisdom through Yahweh Shai, and on her head a crown of 12 stars, man. All right, 12 tribes of Israel, of whom you get what? The 12 disciples, who became the stars in a sense, who shine their light just like we do today. Let's get this real quick. Acts 7, 7 and 8. This is Acts 7 and 8. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision, and so Abraham begat Isaac, of whom the blessing was going to go through, and circumcised him the 8th day. And Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs, 12 tribes of Israel. But then you had 12 disciples, all right, of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so let's get this real quick. Daniel 12 and 3, because that's what represents rulership. So he gave us a form of rulership already, which is to rule in the spirit. All right. Daniel 12 and 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness shall be as the stars forever and ever. All right. So who will turn many to righteousness? Not people like Zechariah and them. They were turning people to the laws like the Pharisees, saying, hey, you got to keep the law. And if you sin, you sacrifice something. But Yahweh Shai is our sacrifice. The Lord said he's not dealing with our carnal sacrifice. He's only accepting what? Spiritual sacrifice. Through Yahweh Shai, teaching his word. Acceptable to him. So those that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness, that turn many to Yahweh Shai, all right, and to the laws, but that turn many to Yahweh Shai, because that's our deliverance. They shall shine as the stars forever and ever. All right, so they're going to shine that light and say, here we be, we're right here, and continue to shine it all the way into the kingdom and for eternity. So those represent the what? The 12 stars, 12 tribes of Israel, starting with now the 12 disciples, and from the 12 disciples you have the rest of the elect. All right. Now it's 144,000 in the 1/3. Okay, so those are the stars. Exodus 32 and 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, woman, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. See, the Lord compares us to the stars of heaven. Those are going to be 12 tribes. 12,000 from each tribe. All right, 144, and then the 1/3. So we are the stars of heaven. And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. Do you see? All right, so about 58 minutes left. So yeah, man, I probably ain't gonna be able to get through this whole chapter. I'm gonna go through this part and maybe start off with verse 3 a little later. All right, probably go out there with the camp Yahweh Ratazah today. Get through the rest of this. So yeah, let's get back to it. It says, in Revelations 12:1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. Now it should make more sense. She was clothed with the spirit of Yahushua, right, with wisdom. And the moon under her feet. All right, that's the old covenant, under the laws. Now we're moving into a new covenant where the laws are going to be put in our inward part, and we're going to become the law, the living word, like Yahushua. And upon her feet, upon her head, all right, which are now the elect, became the rulers of Israel. Not the Pharisees and the scribes anymore, not the Levites. Now it's about the spiritual rulers that the Lord set up, all right, of Israel. Her head, she had a crown on her head of 12 stars, okay? So let's get one more precept on that with the 12 stars. Get Genesis 37:5. This is Genesis 37:5. And Joseph dreamed a dream, all right? Yahushua, who was Joseph, all right? So he dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more, right? Because the Lord will give you a vision or gifts, and people will hate you for them gifts. They'll hate you for the vision that the Lord give you, or the understanding. Just like they hated Paul. But we had to bear that, bear that persecution. And he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed, okay? For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field. It was basically a dream about Joseph being exalted over his brethren. But let's get into it. It says, and my sheaf arose, meaning his leaf, also stood up, right? And behold, your sheaf stood up round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. All right, so he had a vision about him being in Egypt. It was basically dealing with the famine too. All right, a vision of him being exalted and lifted up as he was during the time of Egypt, which actually saved his people, right, and brought us into Egypt, preparing us to be delivered and being birthed as a nation, the true birth of a nation when we came out of Egypt. And the Lord gave us laws and swaddled us as a baby, as a newborn nation. Right? So this was a major vision he was having here. Not just him being risen up over his brothers, but it was more to that. All right? And his brethren said unto him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. All right? So in this sense, the sun and the moon represents his parents. Okay? It was that Jacob and Rebecca, I think it was. All right? So in the 11 stars, what's that? 12 stars of Israel, 12 tribes. And he told it his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream? So basically, yeah, the 12 stars would be the 12 patriarchs once again. All right? So yeah, man, if you read this scripture here, where it says, and there appeared a great sign in heaven, that woman being Israel, being adorned as a bride for her husband, Yahushua. So we clothed with wisdom, clothed with the sun and the moon under our feet. So we still got the covenant and the laws, but they're under us now. You know, that's our foundation. That's where we started from. That was our schoolmaster. But now we're being called to a higher calling, which is through Yahushua, who's going to lift us up and create us into the law. All right, we had the laws on our inward part. And upon her head were a crown of 12 stars. So that's right. So that crown represents this wisdom and the elect. All right. Look at that. There you go. I'm gonna end it with this one. Sirach 1:18. The fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, but the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom. All right. So these men, these 12 stars, and basically the elect of Israel. All right, that's what the 12 stars represent, 12 tribes of Israel. And that crown represents what? Wisdom. The fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish. All right, so that's what makes us healthy, strong, and helps us to flourish, just like the sun provides light to the earth. All right, it helps it to flourish. Both which are the gifts of the Most High, and it enlarges their rejoicing that love Him. All right, so I'm gonna end it there, and Yahweh, I'll see you on the next one. All right, say shalom.